The concept was that this application is a task management tool that allows users to create, edit, delete, and view their tasks. It offers a clean and intuitive interface to help users organize their daily tasks more efficiently. So as you can see here, I have my little present my project task details. So if we come in here, estimated time to complete is about 15 minutes, give or take. Obviously not going to take that much time. The task description, show my classmates how React.js web application works, and display my proficiency in this language. And then it asks, do you want to complete the task? And as soon as I complete this is basically the delete option for it. So as you can see, now it's no longer here, even if I refresh the page, it's gone from that database. You can come here and add a task. This home button does work from anywhere also. Very, works pretty well there, the task name. I'll just give it something like dogs. Oops. I need to complete task like 5 minutes, and then, give each dog 1 cup of food. Then you can add the task here. And then we'll go in and we'll edit this just to prove that we can. Make this 58 instead. We'll say edit it. Update it. As you can see, it's here, and if we go to task details, we can see the edit.
This is awesome. Can you show some validations?
Yes. So if you come in here, you click add task, this is gonna, let's say, we put like letters in here, like that. This is gonna ask us for a number. And then I think you wanna name it more than 2 letters for this task.
Yeah.
So and then this one must be at least 5 characters long, so we'll just add a few more characters in there, and we should be good to go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. This is a great project. Do you have any plans for the future? Do you want anything you want to add to it or, kind of build out in the future?
Yeah, so I eventually want to add like a user login, so there can be multiple users, and then I kind of want to even create like an API, its own database for it, so that people can choose specific tasks, and each task has like a point system to it. And then when they complete those tasks, they get points, and then they can compare their points to other users and kind of make it like a competitive kind of task thing, get some dopamine for ADHD people like myself.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was thinking literally, oh, I could use this in my ADHD. That'd be awesome. I was
Right.
having a tool like this. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's kind of like the stretch goals eventually. I'll keep working on this, see if I can't implement something like that later.
Yeah, this is great. Anybody have any questions, anything for Victoria?
Nope, I think it looks great.
I just love the styling.
Thank you.
I love the continuity of it.
I got a sneak preview of it and I loved it first. So
Yeah, I was curious. Did you have like a pre-filled validation? Because it looked like something popped up before you put the input.
Yeah, that's a good question. So, like as you were saying when you did this, so I do have these fields marked as true in my code, so they are required fields. So, I personally didn't make this message. It just decided to pop up for me. I'm not sure if that's like a React feature. It was just kind of a blessing.
it's like a Firefox thing I've noticed, or Chrome.
It's your index, not your index, sorry, your HTML, in the same way that if you say that it's a type email and it doesn't have an email, there's a built-in validation within the HTML sort of setup. So if you said that it was true, if that's necessary and you did that within your actual HTML code, then that's what it is. It's the browser's front end adding in some validations.
Perfect.
I do have a question.
Uh-huh.
I only took one stack. Did you take more than one?
Yeah, I did the 3-stack program. So this one is specifically done in JavaScript, but I took Java, JavaScript, and Python.
So for your styling, you used what and what made you choose it?
I used general CSS, HTML kind of stuff. I used it because um I really enjoyed learning it in the first place. You know, that's kind of the first thing that they teach you, and I really enjoyed how it looked, how easy it was for me. Bootstrap is also a really great tool, and I do like using it sometimes, but I kind of wanted to get back to the basics of it and try it out with the CSS.
That's awesome. You rock.
Thanks.
Yeah, this is great. Did you have anything you ran into, any issues, any struggles?
Creating the server, I would say that there were like a lot of steps to remember, and I often
Sure.
get carried away with like one of the steps and then forget about the others till like I would get an error message and I'm like, oh yeah, I still need to link this. And like I
Yeah,
created my model before my model was even created. I'm like, oh, oops.
yeah. No, that makes sense. No, this is great.
I'll
This is
slow down.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome. Thanks so much for showing this. What a way to start it out. This is a great project.
Perfect. Absolutely happy to. All right. Now I just need to-
Awesome. Yeah, it looks like we've got Edwin next. Edwin, if you want to share your screen, the floor is yours, my friend.
Sure. Screen.
Love the confidence, Edwin.
Let's go. All right, can you see me? Yeah?
Yep, we're good to go.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, cool. So this is Moto Shed. It's you like motorcycles? Come on down to Motor Shed and put your bike in a MongoDBS. That's basically it. This is just meets the bare minimum requirements to for the grade. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I don't know why somebody would go here to download their motorcycles or up to the database, but here it is. And let's see, I gotta move this guy. Add your moto. I got my validations. There's that auto thing again. All that jazz. Year must be 1885 because that's the earliest year of a diesel powered motorcycle or something.
That's a fun little fact.
Yep. Shut. Bike. Best boy. 2024. I gotta move the screen around, man. It's always in the way. There we go. There we go. Let's add, there's the edit. What to do. Update. Bing. The details, bada boing. And the remove. Yeah, and there's the Daimler White Wagon 1885.
That's awesome. And you said Mongo, so I'm assuming that this is in JavaScript.
Correct. I should have
That's
said
awesome.
that. Yeah, JavaScript. Yeah. I wanted to put an API in here at some point, just like to hook it up to a weather app to see if the weather's good enough to ride your bike.
Would be awesome.
And
Weather APIs are tough, but that's a cool idea.
yep. And just find some functional reason to hook it up to a database. I don't have any ideas just now.
You could create just kind of out of the gates, maybe like tags, and you would save maybe like repair videos. And so like if you need to work on your bike, you could go put in whatever kind of bike you've got, and then maybe it is, you know, in that bike, you've got a list of URLs for YouTube videos, or if you have actual documents for the bike to, you know, somebody wants to work on it, that could be a tool.
Okay. All right.
Or like
I'll write
different
that down.
parts, see if there's an API for like parts that you could bring in.
Hmm.
So they search their bike, and then, you know, there's like stores and links and stuff.
Okay, right on. taking notes here.
This is great.
I would
though.
like to put some
Uh-huh.
music in here, some like rock and roll music or something. It just fits the vibe.
That would roll, yeah.
Be cool to get like one of the OSTs from like those old school wrestling games. Like Here Comes the Pain going on. Get some corn.
Okay. All right. There we go.
Maybe I'm too old.
But
Does anybody have any questions for Edwin? I agree in the chat. I love the color. The color combo looks very Moto Shed, like very motocross, very old school video game. It's very cool.
What's your favorite bike, I guess?
favorite bike, man, that changes like every couple of months. Right now, it's like a Royal Enfield's Classic 350 or the Hunter 350.
Okay. All right.
Awesome. Well, this is great.
Uh-huh.
Great job, Edwin.
Cool.
Awesome. Good job.
Mhm. I'll give your screen back.
Thank you. Charlie, looks like you're up next, my friend.
Hmm.
All right.
How do I give the screen back?
Here, I'll do this real quick. Okay.
All right. So
Cool.
cool. My project was the place where users can log in first, and then from there they're going to be able to post product listings, and from there they can edit, review it. And this was with Python. So I had the login and registration, showing some validation errors first. And then also if, let's say, there was an email already registered, then it was gonna say it already has an account. I have kind of like a link to reroute to the login page, and I'll go here and go back and forth. And then from here, let's go. So this will be to log in. And yep, so I made some pre-loaded data already. So these are things I can only view. And I also made it so that I can click it on the product name so that they can just, it's kind of a little bit easier on the users in a way.
Yeah.
And then let's see, these are the ones I made. Mr. Krabs, he made a patty, he wants a patty grill sold. Right now he's being set as used. I can set it to nude, so you know he wants that extra money. And post that, and then if I go back to view, it should say new. And I can delete that. And same thing on post, I made some validation errors on that as well for my product name, description, and the contact info at least should be in there. Then just to make sure it works. And then it'll show up here. Yep.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the basic of my project, but I realize, you know, as I go more and more into this, I think of things I can do to this.
Yeah.
So like one thing would be definitely to be able to do a input file so I can upload pictures. And then trying to take that a step further, there's this application called OfferUp, and they kind of just have the pictures in multiple columns and rows, and then from there you can just click that and then have the view the product listing.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be sweet. one
Mhm.
thing I
Yeah.
even see that you could do, just kind of thinking about a little bit of logic stuff. Like if you click on wallet right now, if you click on view, you've got this size, which you
Mhm.
didn't fill out, right? That was like an optional thing.
Right.
And so what you could do is when you are creating a new product, you could have it, I think size was a drop down. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you go back to size, like if you, yeah, so you could have like an NA there.
Okay, I did have something like that, but I thought that might look, I don't know, kind of ugly.
Well, yeah, so you could have an NA there, and then whenever
Uh.
you're viewing the actual product in your index.html, you could just do some Jinja. So
Mhm.
basically, if you know, like your if size equals NA, or basically you would do it if it doesn't equal NA, well then it shows this value here.
Right.
But if it does equal NA, then it just doesn't even show a size. So that
Gotcha.
way it only shows size if it's applicable.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of a tricky part that I was trying to work around and
Yeah.
with.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's all you'd have to do is in your code basically. But you could even do it right now because if there's nothing there, you could just say if not null,
Mhm.
meaning that they added on a size, then you know, then we have whatever the HTML is that shows size in the size value. But if it is null or if it has no value, or you know, if you changed it to NA or something like that, then you know, if it's not that, meaning that it has some sort of size,
Yep.
show it. And if not, it's just going to skip that whole portion. So it's just a conditional statement in your just a Jinja conditional statement in your index.html.
Okay.
This is awesome. I see a lot of room to grow here, and you could even build out, you know, using like the Google Maps API to say the vicinity or the city of where it is.
Mm.
And then that way, when you click on, you know, Lakers tickets, it might be LA, you know, or Apple Watch might be in Dallas.
Yeah.
And so then you could even, you know, segment it out that way, or just at least use an API that way.
Oh,
You put an
cool.
address. It'd be cool. This is a
Yeah.
great project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question or maybe one feedback. I love the project, by the way, Charlie. What language do you use for this? If I'm
I did Python.
That's nice. One feedback maybe like the logo outs. Maybe like it's usually on the top, like next to post.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at everyone else's, and they kind of had a like a header in a way.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
that's very cool. Thank you.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I definitely like when I test it out, sometimes I randomly click log out. I'm like, oh shoot. So I could see why it's at the top.
Yeah.
But in my wireframe, I had it like that. So I was like, yeah, I'll just try to keep it as close as
Yeah.
possible. But yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. This is great though. Like somebody said this, Nick said this. This is like a potential chance to actually make money, which rolls.
Mhm.
Because you could do, you know, build a lot of this stuff, or even do it with your friends or
Right.
something like that. You know,
Yeah.
very cool.
Cool. Any questions?
How did you get the I don't know if you did with the ID, but you know how it highlights as you go?
Oh yeah, that's a CSS option. I think it's called like table hover. I use Bootstrap.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to show your code, that'd be we got plenty of time.
Let's see. So I did table success is what made it green, and then table striped is kind of gave it that off green color. And then table hover will, whenever the cursor is going over a certain row, it'll kind of do a little color change.
Yeah, that's sweet. I've never even tried Bootstrap. I never tried.
Yeah, anything that you want to try, just like Google it, and they'll usually have some type of shortcut for it, usually.
Bootstrap is very well documented, and it is my
Yeah.
Bible.
It's awesome. But you could just like somebody said in the chat, you could do this with just raw CSS, and basically whenever you have this row, yeah, you would just put in an event listener, like an on hover. And then when you on hover, what do you want it to do? And you could just give a color based on, you know, maybe it's a little bit darker color, but you want it to, you know, just
that's
looks a
right.
little bit different. And then when they are hovering off, you know, when it comes off, you would put it back to this normal color. And that's all Bootstrap's doing, right? Remember, Bootstrap just writes the CSS for you, but it's still using CSS. Yeah, you could do that same thing with just CSS using an on hover attribute or an event listener for when it's hovering.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Charlie, this is great.
All right,
It's a
thank
really
you.
good project. Yeah, absolutely. Good job. Okay. Benjamin. We're kind of cruising through. I thought we were going to take a little bit longer, but that's fine.
Hi, hello. Mine will probably take a little bit longer because I got a lot. A notebook here of things I kind of want to highlight.
Absolutely. You take as
But-
much time as you need.
Before we start, I want everybody to know that my anxiety is absolutely pinned through the roof right now for public speaking. So if I start going too fast, just be like, "Hey, slow down." But yeah,
Yeah, you got it, my
let me
friend.
see
You
here.
got this, big dog.
Let me see. How do I share this? Share screen. I'll just use this screen for now. Before I get into my application, I want to, can you guys see my database?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to kind of highlight something here real quick because I ran into this head first and I almost had to restructure my whole application. I use Python Flask to start. When we were going through the module, I guess that stack, we were used to using two tables for users and then your data. I ran into this head first building my application. I actually had to add a third table here. My application is being able to go into it and add a golf round. And I realized I needed somewhere to store my course or my round variables as in like whole number, the par, the score,
Mhm.
and all that. So I want to highlight that really quickly. Let me get this spun up real quick though.
Did you use any tools? Like, how did you figure that out? Or did you just think, hey, I'm just going to add in another table?
I did a lot of Googling and kind of found examples of other applications
Yeah.
that function similar to mine. And I
Yeah.
was like, and it almost kind of started to make sense when I hit that wall head on. I was like, okay, I have somewhere to store the round, but I don't have anywhere to store the different information for each hole per se.
Sure.
But
That's awesome.
yeah, that took a lot of frustration and anger before it finally hit me. And then I was like, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
But
Well, this looks great.
so my application, thank you, is called Round Master. And before we start, I guess I'll show the validations on this page for the login and register stuff. Makes you fill out all these since they are required. And then same with the login, email and password is required. And I hope you don't mind, Will. I used you as
I
a
don't
guinea
mind
pig.
at all. No, I love golf. I played golf all weekend, so that
You
rules.
did tell me that. I was like, okay, he's a perfect candidate for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I could have used this past weekend. Hopefully, it would
No
take a couple
handicap,
strokes
Will.
off your
You
game.
got no handicap, Will.
Yeah, yeah, right.
I've got you at a +1 golfer in this. So
Oh, that's
there you
wow.
go.
Wow, you are way too kind.
I hope I'm not far off in that. But
Oh,
so here's my basic data for this page here. Again, like Charlie, I use the on hover event listener to kind of highlight these as you go down. This part took me a good bit because I wanted the background image to show through, make the table basically transparent. Because before it was just a table and you couldn't see the golf ball behind it. You could see the very bottom of it. But I did this with basic CSS stuff. And my text, I actually am using a boot swatch theme. So on each of my HTML pages, I'm actually linking to style sheets, the boot swatch style sheet, and then just the style CSS where I made my customizations for the styling. Okay, so we'll start with the ad round. I have my logout button here, and it'll go straight back to that page as well. If I go into add around, here's my create page. Validations are here as well. Here it's a whole list of validations because it's making you enter data for every single hole. Because I didn't want it to be able to where you can go skip a hole and still enter the round. You have to enter data in for every single one. I just realized that they don't go away. But if I refresh, they do. So we can real quickly just kind of scratch in a hole or a round. For my drop downs, I have it basically capped to where you can only choose between 3 and 5, since there's only par 3, par 4s, and par 5s in a golf round. But with the data, you can enter anything you want. Like if you shot a 10 on a par 3, I feel bad for you for 1.
Yeah.
For 2, you are able to do that. But we'll just scribble some data in real quick. 3, 4, 3, 4. And if you see here, I wanted a way to auto-populate the pars, kind of calculate them as you go based on different courses, because different
That's really
courses. This I figured out. I actually used some JavaScript in the bottom of my HTML page. I did a lot of Googling, and I asked my younger brother for a slight bit of help in this part because he is a software developer and uses JavaScript. He develops in JavaScript. But I explained this to him. He's like, oh, yeah, this is all you got to do. Just write it out. Something similar to this. And that helped me out tremendously with this piece, being able to auto calculate it. And it'll do the same thing with the scores.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So all in all, kind of, we'll just scribble this in real quick. Just make it. This is probably the most tedious part. I apologize about that, but we can edit this in the later part.
Just messing with you.
So like here, I missed scores for hole 8 and 9. They were completely empty, so it doesn't let you add the round at that point.
Sure.
I have my view page, which is a round details page. For this part, I did that same kind of JavaScript script at the bottom of the HTML page. And from here, if you wanted to delete this round, there's a delete button. It's fully functional, and it will ask you, do you want to delete this round?
Awesome. I like the alert just to make sure
that you actually don't delete it by mistake. Up here, I have it to where you don't have to be logged in, but you can see other people's round, and it'll pop their name up. Like I'm logged in as Will, but I could see Ben's round. And the edit, same kind of thing as the add round. But if you wanted to, this is fully functional as well. And obviously the user logged in is the only one that can edit and delete rounds. I can view all the others, but you can't edit and delete if you're not the logged in user. But I think that's really it.
This is great.
I appreciate it.
This is really, really cool.
That's a scorekeeper right there.
Yeah, dude, that styling is
wow.
wow.
I appreciate it. Honestly, you would think adding a background picture is easy. I probably spent a solid 3 hours trying to get that picture to pop up because the file path was weird, I think, if I remember right. Let me see.
Did you just copy relative path?
So go here. So I didn't have it set up like this at first. I had it set up as images slash. Oh wait, no, that's not where I needed to be. So here I had it set up as images slash the JPEG name. And the way I was writing it out first, it didn't like, and it wouldn't pop up the picture in the background. But that I just overly simplified it and typed in the direct path. So static images and then the background picture name. And for whatever reason, it liked that.
Yeah, it's because right here with these two, you think about what do they have access to, right? Its
Yeah.
parent is the CSS file, which is a sibling of images. But if we wanted to, you could have also said dot slash images,
Mhm.
and that would have gone back to this file, and then it can find the images. But
Okay.
what you did, which is fine, is you just said, okay, go into static, which it's like, okay, great. I know, I can go up that way.
Yeah.
And then within that, it now has access to that. So it can, that's the reason. So there's 2 different ways you could have done that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. But this is awesome. This is really, really great.
Thanks.
Is there anything you want to I think you should just continue building this out. It's really sweet. Anything else you want to add in or?
Yes, I actually one thought I do want to add in. I haven't been able to find one yet. I'm sure there might be one out there. I want to add in a public API that actually will give you course details and link it to like the course names themselves. So if you wanted to click, Schneider's Bluff Golf Course, click that and it'll take you to a separate page that gives you, this is the par, this is maybe public events or something of that sort, or maybe even have a link it to another API that'll give you the weather for that in the area of that particular golf course on any given day. As far as adding the rounds and stuff, I think that's pretty decent where it's at. I do want to add a little bit more detail to just the overall functionality and add a little bit more to like information based stuff, like the golf courses and all that. I found I think Golf API is a public API, but I think you gotta pay for that one. So
Yeah, I was just on that one to.
Were you? Yeah.
Yeah, just to look it up. Yeah, the golfapi.io.
Mm-hmm.
It also looks like there is a PGA one.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that
I'll
one.
put that in the chat. We'll see. I don't know.
That one free?
I don't know. That's a great question. I'll put it in the
feel like
chat and you can test it out.
I feel like I crossed that one. Or one.
It might just be players and player profiles. Oh no, it has courses.
That would also be cool too if any like public golf courses haven't had any professional players ever visit or made appearances or anything like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I'll put this so they're sort of. This is like all the golf courses, the data. It's cool. It even has betting stuff, so you can betting odds and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
That's
Which would be
dangerous for
sweet.
me.
Yeah.
I get way too in that.
Yeah, it looks like there's a couple. I just Googled, golf API for details, and there's a
Mhm.
couple golfbert.com, golf courses, maps API, so you can get all the maps. Oh, this is cool. And then you can, like actually visualize. So if somebody clicks on, let's say they click on like Bountiful Ridge,
Yeah.
you could see what it is. And then even you could click on the like, oh, I want to go hole 1, and it'll show the actual.
Oh, the map out of the whole,
Yeah.
like the overhead
Mhm.
view of it, so you can
Yeah.
see if there's any hazards.
Yeah, if there's a hazard, if there's a dog left, if it's a.
I
know,
think
kind of-
there's one out there too, like that actually will show the overview map and like the
Mhm.
terrain, like the slopes. Like if you're in
Mhm.
the middle of the green where it slopes down or
Oh, that's cool.
upslope or anything like that. That
Yeah,
would be pretty cool to add in as well.
yeah, that'd be really cool. Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely a lot more that I do want to add to this. But this was just kind of presentation ready to pass.
Yeah. No, it's great. This is really great.
Excellent.
It makes me want to go play golf.
It's funny, on Sunday, I had ran into a snag after like 6 hours of writing code. I was banging my head against the desk. So I was like, I'm gonna go play around the golf, get my mind off the code, take 3 hours. My round of golf arguably did not help my mood to be able to get back into the code, but stepping away from the desk and then coming back did help a little bit. I was grumpy when I got back, so probably a short fuse with any future code problems would have set me off, but that's neither here nor there.
That's funny. Yeah, walking away and doing something other than coding, especially when you're stuck, it's the biggest thing I can suggest. If you're frustrated, walk away, go eat some food.
I think it's that familiarity aspect, because you're like, okay, this should work like this, and like you look too far into it and you miss whatever's like stopping you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, this is awesome. Way to go.
Cool.
This is an incredible job.
Thank you.
Incredible job. Let's see. We've got.
Guess I can stop sharing this now.
What would you guys like to do? We've got 5 more, which should take about, or 6 more, which should take about. We could do that. Maybe we'll do Don Trail. Do you think you need a little bit more than 10 minutes? Or you think 10 minutes is perfect?
10 minutes, it's fine.
Is
Maybe
that
10,
even long?
but no, I don't think it's long. It's just because I want to go into solutions, and I did have like a small slideshow because I answered your questions.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Well, then why don't we just why don't we do this? Why don't we take a 5-minute break? Everybody can go, get a drink, go to the restroom. We'll meet here at 4:55 PST. And then Don Trail, you can start, and we'll just kind of go from there. That way we give you an extra 5 minutes.
Okay.
Perfect. Awesome. I'll stop the recording here. Great job.